Oh, and mine's on jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and I'm thinking about trying to out Pizza the Hut again. Last time I did that, they took my family hostage, so I'm really fighting it out with this one. I'll let you know later whether or not I actually do it. I might not. But do me a favor and hit that like button or taxes? I don't know. But the wife was browsing Temu the other day, like you do, and she saw something and said, "Hey, do you want this?" And I looked at it, I'm like, I guess so. So we got a white box. Of course, the Temu indicator of quality in blades and EDC. So let's see what we got. Eh, eh, Time! Okay, so we got this glorious goofiness right here. Now let's take a look at what we're holding because it'll bother you if I don't. And you know I love you. So, first things first and most importantly, the pocket clip is tipped down. And I hate tip down, but we all live in sin. We have got the useless seatbelt cutter here. We have got sublimated plastic scales. We got a flipper tab. Let's flick the bean. And we have got a painted blade and God only knows what kind of steel. So, this is one, like, she showed it to me. There was this and a different one with the bright colors and everything else on it. And I was looking for something with a painted blade, specifically with a painted blade. We'll get to that in a second, but, oh, and that right there. That right there. I didn't know that was there when I said, sure, I guess, when she asked if we wanted to order it. But who makes this thing? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just here for the free bikini wax. But I got this specifically because we have done a painted blade before, but I did that cardboard slayer session by myself sitting there in the basement before we started doing live streams. So I got to watch the paint wear off and it was kind of interesting. So I figure, you know what? We'll do a painted blade, we'll do a live stream, and you guys will get to watch the paint wear off in real time, and I kind of want to show you guys that. It's kind of interesting. We've seen fake Damascus pattern wear off before, and that was interesting. Kind of funny, but, I almost feel bad destroying something that does, generally speaking, look this cool. Like, I like this as far as the way it looks. Alright, I like the way it looks, but the quality on it is something else. Oh my god. So it is an assisted opener, and, this has got all the hallmarks of gas station trash, and honestly, if I was the proprietor of a local gas station, I would probably slap a few of these in the case just to see if they'd go. Because me from, say, 15 years ago would be super pumped to get something like this. Maybe closer to 20. I am older than I think. But, the me from many moons ago would definitely appreciate seeing this and would definitely like carrying it and then get upset when the paint started chipping off on the blade right here. So, and you can tell, like, this is a pretty thick coat of paint. Like, let's see. You got a bit of a hollow grind right here, but it is really filled in with paint. Like, they did a thick layer. And, like, I've done sublimation like this for a job before. I am almost entirely sure it's sublimation. And what happens there is they'll put these things in a tray, all right? And the tray will have a little cup on the bottom. It's a vacuum. And they'll heat that, they'll put a film across the top. And that film has got this image and negative on the underside. They'll heat it up to about 300 degrees. They'll throw it in an oven, pull a vacuum on it, let it sit there for a few minutes, and that ink turns into a gas. That gas deposits itself on the outermost layer of whatever you're sublimating onto. So you get a fairly durable finish on that. Like, this really wouldn't wear that fast. You'd have to get a gouge in the handles to get rid of it. So, like, that's kind of interesting to me. And I'd love to see, and again, I enjoy stuff like this. I'd love to see it on higher quality knives, stuff that's built well and kind of built with a theme like this. But, anytime anyone sees this is the mark of a cheap trash knife and avoid it at all costs. So I'm not going to get to see cool stuff like this very often on production knives that are in the $35 to $50 range. You will see limited edition stuff for the holidays and all that does show up with stuff like this, but, they might do a run of 1,000, and they'll either upcharge them or they sell like that and wind up on the secondary market for twice what they cost. It's just been my experience, but, I kind of wanted to ramble about this for a little bit, and like I said, I want to do the live stream for you guys and for me where we get to watch this paint wear off in real time. I feel like that'd be kind of funny. I think this was $7 or $8. Don't quote me on it. This was ordered on the wife's Temu account. Like I said, she was browsing and saw it and said, "Hey, you want to get this?" All right, I got an idea. So let's take a look at our factory edge, because those are always really hit or miss with this, and we may need to sharpen this before we get started on the cardboard slayer session, but I'm kind of curious. That is definitely a very uneven grind. Yeah, the edge on that is very uneven. Parts of it are sharper than others by a distinct amount. Like, you'll get like a point or two of difference, a little bit of difference along the length of the blade, but this thing is definitely a rough job. So let's get the sharpness tester out, and of course, this was kindly provided by you guys through Super Chat donations and memberships and what have you, so thank you for that. And, you know, it's worth mentioning. And I saw Neves talk about this a while ago, but these aren't like the most precise thing on the planet. You know, everybody gets slightly different results because of the amount of pressure, the speed, all that. So this is just a general ballpark number. It'll give you a really good idea how sharp things are like that. The sharper parts should be probably 250s, and then the rougher parts should be 300 to mid 300s, just from what I'm seeing on the cut on the paper. But, you know, it bears mentioning. See where we're at on one of the better spots. 206. So a little better than I thought. The 206 is a little better than I thought. Let's get a little farther back into one of the rougher sections. So yeah, like, you know, I tend to use very consistent pressure. I push it as slowly as I can to watch the numbers run up until it breaks. And some of these, like, it'll take a second to push it. Some of those pop it real easy. Getting down into the low hundreds, it pops it with next to no pressure at all. 321. Okay, so that one I was close on, you know, so like I can usually guess what I'm going to get on the numbers off of that paper cut. That's why I say, like, it gives us a data point, you know, it quantifies something that's otherwise very hard to quantify. So, you know, do with that what you will. You know, those things, like, if you used one of those and did the same thing with your knife, your numbers would be slightly different from mine just on how fast you pushed and everything else. But, you know, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun live stream. That's all we're doing. We're doing a live stream with this thing. That's all we got it for. And, of course, the pocket clip's going away immediately. And, of course, this has got one of those Mark of the Beast cheap pocket clips. At the very least, on this one, the pull's strong. Normally, when you see this pocket clip, either this one or the same thing with holes in it, it's a really weak pocket clip and there's no grab to it. So, I mean, I'm a little happy with the way the pocket clip grips things, but I'm not happy with the location. This could have been a tip-up carry, and I could have had fun with it, but it's not, and I don't feel like putting myself through an annoying tip-down carry just for something that we're going to thrash, and we bought specifically to thrash on Cardboard Slayer. So, I can't think of a whole lot else to add. I just wanted to share this thing and get it out of the box for you guys, let you take a look at it. So, all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We have got our live streams. We have got regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments. I love some feedback. Sound off on this thing. What do you think about it? And as always, I'm going to link up to Cutting Lacey EDC's Diamond Emulsion if you want to step your stropping game up. Not an affiliate link. I don't get paid for it. Just supporting a friend of the channel and a small business. But all that being said, y'all have a nice day.